Renaissance history, guides them through the shift from the Ptolemaic universe we just described to what Copernicus conceives, what Galileo observes and articulates, in which the Earth and man-centric universe suddenly becomes eccentric. The sun replaces, and that shift, with that radical shift, is paralleled in a way by the old world opening up to all the explorations of the new. It's paralleled by Martin Luther and Erasmus's protesting step away from the priest-pope center of Catholic Rome into a situation where any individual can have his or her own relationship to God through reading the Bible himself, possible after the Gutenberg press. And this sequence of radical shifts includes also the ability of our painters and drawers to develop scientifically accurate renderings of perspective in 3 dimensions. And there's the whole birth of natural science, with its ability to separate itself objectively from Mother Earth, from the material natural world. The history of music guides students. You might say that music is the medium of the soul. It's the art form which most is the tissue of this whole unfolding soul. And of course here all of our students are playing it and singing it, but they also study consciously developments in time of music. For example, in the Middle Ages, the single line chant of the Gregorian chants, the single melodic line, which then, during the ensuing centuries, by the time of the Renaissance, becomes an incredibly complex combination of 2, 3, and 4 parts and alternating rhythms and meters, which become more complex than most regular people apparently can at least write and even sing. An extraordinary complexifying of consciousness, palpable through the singing of those songs themselves. The Shakespeare main lesson brings also the 11th grader out of the unified world of the Middle Ages into an experience where Hamlet, through his super-developed thinking now, is able to understand what the kingdom needs, and yet this same developed thinking leaves him experiencing the earth as but a sterile promontory. And he wishes, of course, that his own too sullied flesh would melt, and unable to reconcile what he thinks with what he can do, tragedy ensues with the death of all. He fails to heal the kingdom, and it is the study of the Romantic poets which really, through Coleridge and Wordsworth and others, allows the 11th grader to find a way to reconnect with the natural world, to overcome the chasm between subject and object, between man and nature, and to heal the rift which had occurred in the 1700s. Atomic chemistry asks the question, what is matter? The students dive into materialism and discover that the answer you get depends upon the question which you ask. Heisenberg's uncertainty principle leads the students, these rational scientists, understanding the periodic table and being true to what they find, to discern that, lo and behold, matter is ultimately mystery. Matter is but little bundles of energy, not continuous but discontinuous, maybe waves, maybe particles. Physics asks the question, what is energy? And moving above this world of space and time, the students rationally explore forces which influence our souls all day and night, forces invisible as they are, such as electricity, such as magnetism. They do learn the ideas and the models about electrons and electromagnetic waves, and again they go into the materialistic concepts and discover, lo and behold, as the chemists did as well, that the smaller you get, the less material the world actually turns out to be, and even the larger you get, the less do the rational models hold up. The Big Bang theory apparently doesn't work because there's not enough stuff to support the Big Bang theory. So people wonder, is there dark matter? Is there dark energy? Was Einstein's cosmological constant, which he apparently used to help make his equations work, was that in fact dark energy? The students understand that although this model of the atoms are important, the space between is as important, and we are left with understanding the universe really almost mathematically at best, understanding that matter itself turns out to be energy.